about the PYQs, which are the weekend special. Fine. Whenever we talk about the weekend special, we bring you the MCQs which are based on the previous year papers. And today, in this session, we will be discussing the previous year questions from the PPB subject. Now, as you know, that the time is less with us. Most of you might be having apprehensions whether we can crack this exam in this particular attempt, or should we switch on to the next attempt and wait for the next notification? The answer to all your anxieties would be that try your level best. Whatever you want to achieve in this particular cycle, achieve it then and there. Do not delay your plans, because you never know what happens in the next cycle. Maybe IIBF can bring up the negative marking, or for that matter, more tough examination can also be there. So whatever the level of preparation is, try to capitalize on that, and in this particular attempt only, try to achieve the final score which you want for yourself. So without any further delay, let's get started. The first question in front of you pertaining to the topic of RSETI, that is the Rural Self-Employment Training Institute. Now this particular topic is important, but what we have done is we have clubbed the four statements from various topics. There are four topics which are of different nature, but in IIBF examination, you can expect that a single question will be asked from such type of topics. So we have also clubbed them, and in order to make you familiar with the type of questions which are asked, we have framed this particular question for you. So not only we will be focusing on the RSAT, but we will also look into the matter of your NPOs, the non-profit organization, as well as gold loan plus layering via this particular question. So the first statement states a non-profit organization is required to submit a report if it receives a single receipt of rupees 10 lakh or more, whether it is correct or not. So this particular question directly it is from the reports. Fine, you have to submit certain reports if you are working in a financial institution, particularly the banks, and if you know whether the non-profit organization is required to submit a report within a certain stipulation of rupees 10 lakh or more, then tell me in the comment section. Next statement states a gold loan is the example of pledge where the borrower retains the possession of the security. Now such type of questions might be asked in the exam also, again, because here the confusion is always there, that whether gold loan is a type of pledge. Fine, the security involved is in the type of pledge, or for that matter hypothecation. Then we have the Rural Self-Employment Training Institutes, that is RSETI. They are managed by the Ministry of Rural Development. Layering stage of money laundering involves making illicit funds difficult to trace through the series of complex transactions. See, all these four statements, they are from different chapters altogether. The last statement talks about the Prevention of Money Laundering Act chapter. So whether the layering stage is there in money laundering or not, you have to select the correct statements out of these four. So the correct answer, all of you, I want everybody to reply on this particular question. Quickly just tell me whether you are able to figure out the correct answer or not. Always remember, these type of questions will be asked, and when we talk about the most important part, that sometimes what happens, IIBF also bifurcates the questions based on the processes. Like this process is a three-stage process, but they will ask about only one stage here, that is the layering stage. Okay, so the time is over now. What will be the right answer? Option B is the right answer. That is first and fourth. When I talk about the gold loan, it is an example of pledge, yes, but the borrower does not retain the possession of the security. Fine, the possession lies with the bank. And when we talk about the RACETI, whether it is managed by the Ministry of Rural Development, prima facie, it looks that we are talking about some rural institute, so it must be managed by the Ministry of Rural Development. But no, it is not managed by the Ministry of Rural Development. Then who manages it? You will see in this particular explanation only that it is managed by the banks with active cooperation from the Government of India and the state governments. So let's have an elaborate discussion around the RACETI, that is Rural Self-Employment Training Institutes. See, these institutes, although they are the initiative of Ministry of Rural Development only, but they are not managed by the ministry directly. They are managed by banks. And what is the aim of these institutes? In order to provide the dedicated infrastructure in each district for imparting training and skill upgradation of rural youth aimed at entrepreneurship development. So whenever there is some innovation, fine, which is happening in the rural areas, whatever kind of innovation is being implemented in the rural areas, mostly we have seen the involvement of RACETI in that particular project. So they are managed by the banks with active cooperation from the Government of India as well as the state governments. And when we talk about the basic features of RACETI. So each RACETI is expected to offer 30 to 40 skill development programs in a financial year of 1 to 6 week duration. So always remember, skill development program will be initiated by the institute, that is the RACETI, and they will be having the time duration of 1 to 6 weeks. Mostly it is for 4 weeks or 1 month as we know it, covering various areas like agricultural programs, product programs, process programs, as well as your journal programs. So mostly in rural areas, they focus on the product programs. But yes, we have to remember all the four. Okay. So this is the bare minimum thing which you have to remember for the RACETI. Next question we have, where again four statements are given to you, and these statements are based on different units. Fine, not a single unit is there. We have clubbed the information from various units as IIBF also has done in the previous attempts, and you have to tell me that which of the following is correct. So first statement states the maximum punishment for money laundering offense can extend up to 10 years if it is connected with the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. So what we see that the punishment for your money laundering offense, mostly it is for 7 years, but here it is written as 10 years, whether it is correct or not. The Banking Codes and Standards Board of India, the BCSBI, was recommended by the committee headed by Shri S.S. Tarapur to address the issues of banking services for the common man. Then we have the CBWTR, that is the cross-border wire transfer report. It must be submitted for any wire transfer regardless of the amount. So regardless of the amount, you have to submit the CBWTR report always whenever a cross-border wire transfer happens. In a mortgage, the security is a movable asset and the possession usually remains with the borrower. Again, the type of securities from there also one question is, one statement is here. So what is the correct answer? When we talk about this question, the correct answer is option A only, that is 1 and 2. Fine. So the maximum punishment when we talk about the money laundering offense, most of you know that it is 7 years, but it can be extended, but not for all the cases, only for the cases connected to the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. What are these psychotropic substances? Anybody who wants to share? Psychotropic substances are those substances which are categorized as the drugs, and there are two types of psychotropic substances, one legal, another one illegal. So if you are consuming the illegal psychotropic substances, then you will be tried under the uh, money laundering offense act. And when we talk about this narcotic drug and psychotropic substances act, it also defines that what are the legal psychotropic drugs. The legal ones, if I have to give some examples, it is tea and coffee. Fine. These are the legal psychotropic substances. Next, the correct statement, BCSBI, that is Banking Codes and Standard Board of India, it was recommended by the committee headed by Shri S.S. Tarapur, and it actually addressed the issues of banking services for the common man. So both these are correct. But when we talk about the CBWTR, certain amount is involved, fine, beyond which you have to submit the CBWTR report. And in case of mortgage, the security is an immovable asset, fine, and the possession remains with the borrower only, but it is an immovable asset. That is why 1 and 2 are correct here. Okay, here you can see that the reporting obligation document specifies that CBWTR is for cross border wire transfer for more than rupees 5 lakh or equivalent. Fine. Next is a question based on the RBI OS. Again, a very, very important question. Time and again, IIBF repeats this topic in the questions list. So, which of the following statements are correct about the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021? So, you must know the history, that how the integration of various schemes happened. Then, when we talk about the various schemes which were earlier lined up with the RBI, and later on they were clubbed together by the RBI, what all schemes are there which have been clubbed into the RBI OS, what parameters are there when we talk about the jurisdiction under the RBI OS. All these are very important topics. But for this particular question, let's see what has been asked. It integrates three separate ombudsman scheme, all of which were established in 2021. It combines the banking ombudsman scheme, which is in operation since 95, ombudsman scheme for NBFC 2018, and ombudsman scheme for digital transaction 2019. Whether it has clubbed all these three schemes or not, or the schemes have been established in 2021 only. The scheme's primary function is to handle grievances related to large NBFCs only. See, this keyword is very important. Fine. Whenever you are solving the question in the actual exam also, or for that matter in your mock test also, do lay special emphasis on such keywords only, thereby not, all these incorrect. These are very, very important. So whether it is only for the large NBFCs or not, then the banking ombudsman scheme was introduced in 2021 as part of the new integrated scheme. So the correct answer would be what? Option B will be the right answer here, because it integrates these three schemes only. So here in front of you, you can have a look here also, that the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, it includes the three schemes of Banking Ombudsman Scheme of RBI, which was there since 95. So one scheme from 1995. Then for NBFCs, we had a dedicated scheme of Ombudsman for the large NBFCs since 2018. After that, the latest one, the digital transactions, the Ombudsman for Digital Transaction Scheme, which was there since 2019. These three were clubbed together, and now we know it as the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme of 2021. One particular question, which is your homework, do let me know that whether directly the consumers or the customers can approach the RBI without even moving towards their banks. Fine. If they are having some issues in the banking system, then they can directly approach to the RBI using the RBI OS scheme, and they need not to approach their banks first, whether it is possible or not, and if it is possible, in which kind of scenarios. Okay, next question. Which of the following categories of borrowers are considered under the weaker section for priority sector loans? So, what will be the right answer here? Priority sector loans, again, when we talk about these types of loans, they are important for our economy, particularly to resurrect the rural areas economy, or for that matter, the hinterland economy as we call them. So when we talk about the weaker section, a particular chart is important. A table is very, very important for us. So whether it includes the farmers with credit limits exceeding 1 lakh, beneficiaries of corporate schemes, self-employed professionals with loans exceeding 1 lakh, or for that matter, small and marginal farmers. So always remember, SMFs are one of the most important part of your weaker section category in India, and D is the right answer. Okay, what do we mean by the small and marginal farmers? Any farmer in our country who is having the land holding within the range of, you can say, 0 to 1 hectare is termed as the marginal farmer, and within the range of 1 to 2 hectare is known as the small farmer. So in effect, we can say that small and marginal farmers are those farmers who are having the land holding less than 2 hectare. The size of their land holding is less than 2 hectare. Okay, here in front of you, you can have a look at the list also, that the priority sector loans, they must be, forwarded to the weaker section category, which includes the small marginal farmers, artisans, village and cottage industries, where the individual credit limit do not exceed rupees 2 lakh now. Fine, the latest update says that it is 2 lakh now. Then beneficiaries under the government sponsored schemes such as NRLM, NULM, SCS uh, scheme, or you can say the rehabilitation of manual scavengers SRMS scheme. Then SC/ST categories. Then we have the beneficiaries of DRI scheme, self-help group, distressed farmers indebted to non-institutional lenders, distressed persons other than farmers with a particular loan amount, individual woman beneficiary, person with disability. Then we have the transgenders also. Fine, transgenders also, they find a mention now in this particular list. So the list is exhaustive. And when we talk about the latest one, where you can have the latest list, so in our courses also we are providing the latest information based on the RBI's notification, which was there in March 2025. March 2025, RBI released a fresh notification, a fresh circular was issued, where some more categories were included in the weaker section. So if you are interested in having a particular plan, a proper study plan, from where you can study all the topics, or for that matter all the subjects of JIIB, then you can directly contact us on this number, that is 0981 981 9247, and you can ask n number of doubts related to the courses, which course is best for you. And if you want that some extra discount will be available for you, especially for you, then you can apply the coupon code, that is Y1003, for attaining the maximum discounts. Okay, so this was it for today's session. If you have any kind of doubt pertaining to this session or the questions which we have discussed, do let me know in the comment section. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, goodbye everybody, take care.